Hello! Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Never Sunny in Doskvol, a Blades in the Dark role-playing game. Yeah! Hey everybody. So yeah, I'm excited to be back GMing the helm of this ship. It's been, I think, 2 weeks now since we last played, since our last confession. So I'm excited to get the ball rolling again. I know we had a couple leftover accounting things that we need to get done, but we can maybe talk about that and also say how we're doing. So I think we had 2 crew experience that we didn't, that are just hanging around, that we should pay for with our brand new Roll20 updated / game updated final version of Blades in the Dark that just got released. So shout out to John. Thank you for releasing such an amazing game. The final release version of this book is beautiful, by the way.
So beautiful. Like,
it's nice.
So beautiful.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. How is everyone doing? Okay. Do we know what we want to do with those 2 experience?
We put a lot of thought into this actually before, and I know that taking a patron was something we'd considered, and considering how tightly we have bound ourselves to the hive, I definitely agree that that is a good choice. But we just tiered up, and the benefits of it are when you tier up. So
maybe we hold off on that because we are currently at war with
maybe we should hire some able-bodied thugs.
I was thinking about that as well, like some cannon fodder.
We do already have thugs. Like we
but we could have more.
Or we could make them better.
That's true.
I'd be all right
good.
Also with maybe removing like either upping their tier, their quality, adding another type to them, or removing like one of their flaws or something.
I don't feel like their flaws are that bad for what we're going to be doing.
That's true. That's true.
That's a pretty good point.
So we have 2 crew advances floating? Is that what's going on?
2
experience.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So we have our thing plus also 2 XP. Okay.
Yeah. I suggested the smuggler's special ability of all hands. Since we're at war, we'll get an extra downtime action through our cohorts.
That's another good one.
And it won't be totally wasted later because we'll still get, 1 more, right?
It does sound pretty good.
You use it to acquire an asset, reduce heat, or work on a long-term project.
I imagine we're going to be dealing with a lot of heat.
That's a good point.
And I'm always working on projects about getting more turf, so I feel like that's really useful.
I completely agree, so I'm just going to make an executive decision and put that on the character sheet.
Make it so.
Nice.
Done. Done and done.
Easy. Okay.
Oh, I forgot I put chat over on the left. Hi, chat.
Cool. So I think that is all of our bookkeeping currently.
Okay. Did I remember to take... Because when we level up, we get coin too, right?
It goes to your stash now directly.
Okay. Because I don't think I took that either. Because I think we reminded ourselves of that in Discord. So how much do you get again?
It is 1 + 2 for every tier of the crew. So our crew is tier 2.
So 5 total.
So 5 total. And it goes directly in your stash, technically.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
I don't
good.
have any... Oh, wait, that's the wrong character sheet. That's Otto, not Jewel.
I have so much stash. My stash is almost full.
Okay. Well,
Do you have to
yes.
retire if your stash is full?
No. You don't have to retire if your stash is full.
I
But
just
if
buy
you
everything.
retire when your stash is full, that means that you live a good life. But if your stash is getting close to full and you don't want to retire, you can always pull money out at 2 for 1. So
Yeah.
yeah, stash.
Time
stash
for Vale to
pulling.
be sugar mama.
Okay. So, who wants to kick off previously on It's Never Sunny, and then we can begin. Who wants to heal or gain a free reduction in their stress?
I only have 1 stress. How's everyone else doing?
Yes.
I have a couple.
Do you want to do it then, Kelsa?
Oh boy, do I remember what happened last time. Jewel came back from her long stay, her quick trip to the Dagger Isles with her girlfriend, and found out that nobody can get anything done without her. It's not entirely true either, but things got weird while she was gone. Gosh, what did we do? I remember Jewel definitely beat somebody up she didn't have to.
Well, why are we at war, Kelsa?
Why are we at war? We
You know.
I do, but I don't remember.
Why do you forget?
Gosh, why do I forget? I'm a very bad person. That's really.
You know what? I'll just take over.
Yes, please. Because yes, that's why I forget, because the unseen.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's coming back to me.
Go ahead.
No, please.
You need it. Go for
I
it.
do. So the unseen are some terrible mofo's who who make you forget that they were there, and Vale had an encounter with them where they tried to make her forget, and then she remembered. And Jewel managed to kind of shrug it off because she's used to having psychic connections with things, sort of. Why? I'm trying to remember exactly what happened to cause us to go to war, because they. No, I lost it again. I'm so sorry.
We caught one, and we interrogated it.
I knew I shot somebody I wasn't supposed to. Okay.
You caught one and you sold it.
We sold it to the hive.
Yeah.
And I was going to beat it up, and Vale told me no.
I mean, I said try other things first. But if you make a mess, clean it up.
I'm going to put out, yeah.
So, yeah, we had him tied up in the basement, and he wasn't answering our questions. And so I beat him up a little bit for good measure, but didn't kill him because somebody told me not to. And then she struck a deal with the hive to hand him over. And I'm pretty sure he escaped at that point, but
No, he did not escape. He's with the hive.
Okay, good.
Or I should say it is with the hive.
That was me when I was like, it would be really terrible here is if we cut over to them immediately forgetting what happened as soon as it's out of our sight.
Yeah.
him getting away, but that didn't actually happen. Okay, that was just my my headcanon. I think that was everything important. Boy, that was a ramble. I'm sorry. I don't think we were well reminded.
No, that's pretty much it. So, that's pretty good. I think then we're kind of going to go into free play area / down. No, I think we should go to downtime, right? Because you kind of just sold that guy. So I think we're.
I think we did downtime already.
We did end with downtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get into free play then.
And I also want to point out one other thing is that none of our vice purveyors remember us.
Yes.
Right. I went out, that was how we found out, because I went out to dinner at the Golden Plum, and Chef Rosalind did not remember me, because I was going to be like, hey, remember that favor that I owe you? And she's like, who are you again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had the talk.
Yeah. All right. So there is. I'm going to give you this opportunity to do some stuff if you want to before this event. But there's something that I brought up a little bit earlier with you guys in the chat, is that there is a storm coming to Doskvol from Akaros itself, from proper, from the Imperial City. Due to all of the violence and all of the explosions in the docks and all of the refugee skirmishes and such, the Imperial Emperor, long live the immortal Emperor, has decided to say enough of this nonsense, and he's sending in a viceroy to basically oversee the northern reaches of Akaros, particularly centered in Doskvol. And so you know that a viceroy, a retinue of military are coming up here in the next few days. So I wanted to know if you wanted to do any sort of preparations or anything you want to have beforehand about that. I can give you sort of information about who is leading this, like the viceroy themselves.
I would definitely like information on them.
Yeah. Okay. So the it's being led by I think this is the same lady who actually was kind of a big war hero back in the War for Scotland Independence, and her name is what was her last name? Ramira Tyconorel, and she is I guess the most notable thing, if you had like a dossier of her, she is like a tall, strong, Dagger Isles woman, with like military crop hair, an eye patch, and just she's basically, think of not necessarily the actress, but her profile is basically like counterinsurgency. She is all about like, you know, her reputations are like spy networks and infiltrations and assassinations, rather than like no-knock raid kind of, you know, like military policing and stuff like that. She's very much like guerrilla tactics and stuff to root out people who are against her. And you know that she did this very, very effectively in Scotland, in the War of and so now she is being called in here to command. I mean, let's just say a tier 4 group of basically the Akarosi Imperial Regiment as a faction, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not like she's taking over the Blue Coats. It's like she's bringing her own dudes.
Yeah, she's bringing her own dudes in here. Exactly.
All right. Ooh.
All of the basically all the criminals. You know that this is like real bad. It's causing a lot of like shortages of things, just immediately, like immediate run-ups, knowing that like this is the last chance things are going to be easy, because it's going to hurt everyone right now, right?
Yeah.
So we have a moment right now to kind of like, this is the calm before the storm. So if you wanted to do some kind of like, you know, preparations or some types of things before we can want to move forward, otherwise we can just jump ahead to them marching through the streets, you know, with a kind of like martial law kind of thing. It's totally up to you.
I think Seer would, because of, and maybe even stronger because that news comes out, but like right after our run-in with the unseen guy, like he's like organizing all our crew to be like, you know, you have to go together, you're always buddy systems, and like setting up passwords and shit, because he's
Paranoid?
he's paranoid about, you know, they're gonna get him, and like we won't even know, and we're gonna be infiltrated. So he just keeps coming up with like crazy shit to be like security, even though some of it is like doesn't really work, and then it gets changed, and the you know, the gangers are like, a bunch of them are just thugs, and they don't really follow the protocol all that well.
Yeah, no, they don't really, do they?
Sometimes, but you know, Seer is trying to batten down the hatches, as it were.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to just instruct Hicks and the other, the thugs mostly, of how to behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that definitely that Jewel is kind of helping out in that, a little bit of like point on, like, you know, if there's a problem, you come to me. You know, making herself like the captain of the crew, putting on a show of force, being the badass that we all knew she could be.
Totally.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of organization that is happening. Like, I feel like before the thugs were a little bit I want a different word other than disorganized, but yeah.
I mean, they have the wild tag, right? Like,
and she's
like
not
you
trying
tell them some things, and then you turn their back, and they kind of do whatever.
She's not trying to tame them so much as like give their wildness a direction. You know?
Okay.
She knows that you can't tame a force of nature.
Yeah.
You can just try to get it to do what you want. Through whatever means you can. So I think that also she's out a lot more with in addition to Mr. Bubbles, like Swiftbite makes more of an appearance, like in places when she's being intimidating. Because there's nothing quite like a giant spider to fuck people up. So, and it's like comic book logic where it's like, how did the giant spider even get to be here? Like, you don't ask that question. That's not important right now.
No. Does it? It's yeah. Where does it? It normally just stays in the basement, right?
Yeah. It
just normally just hangs out on its web. It's like Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
With
but like,
weird alien runes that gets carved into it.
Don't worry about that part.
For ghosts. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like what is I don't know, I guess it'd be like a meeting and Sears like asking like what's like the weak points of our operation, right? Like
okay.
If they were to If they would come after us, what would they come after us for? Or, like, where would they get us easy, right? Are they just, I mean, like, it's not their style to do raids, but are they, if they kick open the door, do we have a good plan?
Okay. Sure. So, they come in via rail to Doskvol because it's the fastest way up north. So I think we maybe like then kind of start the show with like, I guess, I mean, Akaros probably has some like military trains, like some like armored trains with like cannons and shit on them and like machine guns. I'm thinking like around World War One, like military trains that kind of like pull into the Gaddock rail station in the night market.
One of the carts, like right in the middle, is just like this giant artillery thing.
Yeah, like it's like exactly. It's like a war train that they come off of.
I'm like, in my brain, it's very God, there's this one movie that, no, it's not even a movie. I'm thinking of Avatar, Legend of Korra with the military train. All right.
Yes, so good.
Anyway, sorry.
I don't know the reference, but I'm sure it's very close to what I'm imagining.
Yes.
So who's scoping this out with Seer as they arrive?
That's definitely something that Jewel would be doing.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like the two of them are like standing on top of like a rooftop or something, and like it's like raining, and they're like have like their jackets billowing in the wind or some bullshit.
Yeah. Cool. Then you guys get to see this.
Jewel has a spyglass.
Yeah.
That she's
Okay.
using as the train's coming in.
Yeah. All right. I mean, like after the trains come in and people start getting off the train and like organizing around the rail station, and we see the leader, right? We see she's wearing like one of those like long like Hugo Boss like long like fascist style like trench coats, like military officer trench coats. She has a beret, and then she has like a I think she has like silver hair that like goes like over like one of her like sides of her face, like a long bang, and then like you see like her eye patch underneath it, and the rest of her is like she's wearing very much like not ninja outfit, but like very like tactical style wear. She and obviously this is Ramira. Accompanying her to the side is a like almost like right behind her is a large like scrawny man. He's clearly like wearing like also like a baklava and like military like outfit behind him with like two swords behind him. Like on his back, kind of dead strokey, I guess would be the best example of kind of like what I'm kind of imagining what this person kind of looks like. And then like a bunch of like a retinue of Imperial guards, which I guess in my head I picture I picture a lot of like German World War One kind of uniform, not like the pointy hat, but just very much like the gray cadet kind of like uniform outfits with boots and everything, soldiering up into like columns and whatnot. And yeah, I think where the TV show starts, like the next scene would be Ramira arresting the governor, the mainstaying governor, and I guess the head of the Bluecoats, who I don't have a name for immediately, but he is arresting both. She is arresting both of them to be sent back to the Imperial City, and she's basically issuing martial law over the city.
So the governor, was that Chief Pritchard?
Yeah, and they are protesting it. Like, you can't do this. You don't have the authority. And she's like, by word of the empire, the emperor and stuff, I have declaring martial law and kind of just like doing this big like power play, right at the rail station. And then I think maybe like after this kind of starts happening, like rumors start like flying around or whatever, and the big thing that's being said is that the night market will be clean and secure, and peace will be given to the night market within 24 hours, is her promise.
Jeez.
And there's a lot of people trying to leave the night market. With that kind of news, you know. So that's the big thing. You guys are going around. You hear a lot of people being like, come on, wife and kids, pack your bags. We're getting out of here. We're not going to stay in the night market right now. This is bad. They don't want to be around when this shit starts falling. Yeah. She says this is just the start, and that she's going to be basically purging and securing district by district.
So, Seer maybe like kind of racially profiling Jewel here, but they're both from the Dagger Isles. Do they know each other?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
No, but or like, do you know her by reputation? Because
that's
like,
true. Yeah, she definitely has
not
a bedazzled.
not an act erosion, right?
By reputation, maybe.
Yeah.
She definitely has the spirit bane charm implants.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you know, to earn such a supreme rank in the Imperial Army as someone who's not necessarily from Akaros means that she's probably had to work twice as hard than anyone else.
She's probably a badass, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Exactly. She's not incompetent.
Yeah, I'll definitely like tell you that much at least. Yeah, and like the whole thing happening at the rail station, like after the hoopla, like she closes the spyglass and tucks it into her jacket pocket. She turns to Seer and is like, "This is not going to be easy."
No. And like, I mean, the first thing that's going to be affected by you guys is going to be legitimately getting tea. Like economically, you're going to feel this first by tea, and just the uncomfortable demeanor of your normal constituents. But the Bluecoats are terrified because they don't know what this means in terms of like how they're going to fit in with these soldiers, right? They think it's not right, but you know, they don't. In good company, they say it's not right, but obviously they're like, okay, I guess we're gonna play support to these guys, right? I mean,
yeah, and I'm sure there's like this feeling among the Bluecoats that like maybe I'm gonna get arrested because I
didn't do their job well enough.
I once turned my eye and took a coin from these other.
I think there's might be actually a schism kind of maybe forming in the ranks of the Bluecoats between some people who are like all about this and being like, I'll prove myself to them, and like, you know, being in like even more like stalwart, like, you know, by the book, keepers of the peace. You have other ones being like, this is fucked up.
How many of the Bluecoats are corrupt though? Like 95%?
Yeah, but they're corrupt because they like power, and now they're kind of like, so they would rather keep power than keep corruption. So, because then they can figure out the new system afterwards. But so they're all going to be like, they're kind of a lot of. Like, I'm saying when there's a schism, it's not an even split. It's maybe like, you know, like 1 in 10, or kind of like the, you know, moral. I'm in, you know, wrong reasons type.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, this is going on. What do you guys want to do?
Like first things first.
You don't have any. I don't think you have friends in the inspectors, right? Yeah. So you don't know what's going on with them. Yeah.
But like if our front of selling tea is in jeopardy, then either we have to fix that or find a new front, right? Like, we can't just not have a front and just be a whorehouse / drug den.
I mean, we could just be a whorehouse / drug den, but we've prided ourselves on offering fine tea along with our other services.
Not to mention that being a drug den is kind of illegal. And the whorehouse is also not necessarily on the level.
Exactly. So, like, we need a front, right? Like, we need to get something. We need to get, like, the tea importer, and we need to make him still deliver to us.
Yeah, we still need to get our tea, is basically what I'm getting at. We need to keep business as usual, but at the same time, maybe downplay the criminal stuff, especially when they're searching our district. So maybe no new shipments from the hive right now. Maybe we dial back the whoring just a smidge if there are, militant inspector people nearby.
Tell everyone to pull up their shirt like a little bit.
I imagine Vale is at the Painted Lady with like a couple of books from the library on business law and all that, just making sure that she at least knows what she needs to say and how to pass everything off as completely and totally 100% legitimate.
Okay.
I think that Jewel wants to talk to her friend, Valeris, the spy.
Cool. But I think before you're doing that, I think we're going to have a meeting. Maybe like as you're getting ready to leave, I think we're going to actually have to have a meeting. Miguel. Miguel's going to have to show up again.
Hey, we can use the hive to supply us tea. They're also legitimate business people.
Well, it's kind of the opposite. The hive are basically showing up. A bunch of people. So like Miguel, in addition to, I believe her name it's not Eckhart. It's not. Is it Trinia?
Deirdre is the other.
Oh no,
hive.
Deirdre. That's right. It's Deirdre. It's totally Deirdre. Yeah, Deirdre McWraith. I'm sorry. That's right. I had it right here. Deirdre, Miguel, and a bunch of other hive personnel are kind of like coming into the bar, being like, your friends, right? We need to use this store while the night market is getting kind of like overturned, because you know how the hive has a lot of stuff going on in the night market, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're moving operations here essentially for the time being as a partial base.
They're trying to move it into the Painted Lady.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, thanks for being so generous, and not really. They're like, we need to do this,
is not
and
a
thanks
question.
for yeah,
this is,
right,
this is,
yeah,
here
right.
you go.
Like this is, yeah. They're like, really sorry about this, guys, but we need to take over your spot too, kind of thing. Being like, we need to figure out a plan about what's gonna happen right now, right?
Yeah, I don't think Jewel likes this. I think she's standing there with like her hands on her hips, like inches away from her pistol. And looks to Vale like, are we gonna stand for this?
I don't think we have much choice. They out-tier us by quite a bit. We have to play ball until we have more power, and then we're the ones walking into their establishment and saying, oh, thanks for being so understanding as we take over your space.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they're yeah. I think Deirdre is probably putting this pill on, being like, listen, everyone who has operations in the night market is looking to set up shop in Six Towers. Thank goodness that we have good relations instead of like someone trying to fight you right now for it, kind of thing, right? Like, at least I'm not an enemy saying that I'm taking this over, right?
Yeah, I think like after like Vale kind of is like, yeah, all right, think Jewel like takes her by the arm and drags her back to her office.
Before you do that, though, like as you're grabbing my arm, I think I'm just smiling at Deirdre and saying, "And we appreciate that you will compensate us handsomely for use of our space," as I'm being dragged away.
Okay, that was literally exactly what she was going to talk to you about. So maybe she does, but she doesn't want to lose face. Also, so she's like, she kind of like nods gruffly and then continues to drag you into the back.
Are you leaving Seer alone with them? Because this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to follow Seer as we leave into the back and you have a moment alone with them, or do you want to come back to that?
We can do your stuff.
Okay. Let's do your stuff first then, Kelsa.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she drags Vale into the back and is like, listen, it's important we milk them for every dime. That they want to use our space, fine. But it's on our terms and not theirs. I'm willing to make sure they agree to the terms, if you know what I mean.
I don't think that will be an issue. They are very pleased with us since we gave them that unseen thing. And we have our operation in... looking at the map.
Brightstone.
We have our operation in Brightstone that has been very successful. And also less likely to get raided.
That's a good point.
I don't think it's time to sour this relationship, especially considering the things we have sacrificed to get it. Let's use it to our advantage.
I don't like it. But all right. I trust you to know the business side of things.
Keep me informed on your opinions. I appreciate them.
All right. I also suggest that we maybe move some of our operations down to the Tenpenny Courts in Crowsfoot. We have left them pretty much to their own devices for a while. If we can up business there, a hit to any one location will be less of a problem.
I've been studying the books. We'll try to keep at least an air of perfect legitimacy. So you will have to be careful. I know you can be a bit of a loose cannon, shall we say. Be on your best behavior.
Okay.
On
Yes,
your
ma'am.
best behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Drew.
All right.
Cool. So I think Deirdre and Miguel, I guess, are they just talking to Seer then, right now, as we like move back over? Cool. I think they're mentioning that a few of their operations places closest to the Gaddock rail station have already been kind of like taken over. Like they just like showed up and they knew exactly where it is, and they're not sure how she has this information already. But she's saying, but Deirdre is mentioning that it seems like I'm getting the same reports from everyone, like kind of like all my contacts kind of in the night market, that they're hitting people simultaneously, and that while our business might be getting bad, she knows that she's heard some of the unseen have also been hit. Some like everyone has been kind of just they're basically like a multi-pronged attack of just like on any kind of like vice or smuggling den in the night market, almost like simultaneously. And word is that they have what's her name? It's a demon that runs the night market. Surrounded, or like she's unable to leave the night market. That's all they've heard. They don't know what's happening to it yet or not.
Do they think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
That the demon is trapped and can't get out?
Well, yeah, because it's an animal trapped in a cage, right, in a trap.
Okay, like that.
it's going to slowly kind of constrict it. I'm trying to find the name of the night market. So the night market has a festival that happens at night. Obviously, that's it's one of the. It's like a large, like open kind of farmers market-y kind of thing, where a lot of like illegal things happen at night. And it's all kind of like run through one demon, but I'm trying to find the name of her. Bop bop. Oh well, I can't find it real quick. But anyways, that's where you know.
All right.
Maybe she goes by a bunch of different names.
I mean, there's two we know. There's Monsieur Suffet, who's the Iruvian ambassador guy.
Yeah, it's not her at all.
And there's Sitara, who was being leached power from the energy grid, but it doesn't sound like either of them.
No.
But yeah, Seer is like, oh man, that sounds awful. And then he's like, do you guys need like help move some shit out? Like he's offering them not just like, hey, you can put it in our basement, but also like we can totally go get stuff for you.
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually a really good idea. So this would be kind of like, this is like a crime version of Dunkirk. Like you need to go, like they have some pretty good. Yeah, that would be perfect. That's actually a really cool problem. Yeah, they would love your help. They need you to go. So some of their drugs are kind of stuck, kind of on the fringes of the night market, like kind of like near across the river. They need you to get them before the next kind of like round of like attacks and stuff, as well as try to get as many people of the hive as you can back with you, right? They like need you to help get some of these people before they get arrested and stuff, right?
So yeah, so Seer is like being like, oh yeah, sure, and we can totally do this, and like making some plans already, like before there's any actual plans, and saying yes, but he's like kind of saying yes already, and then Vale.
I mean, you want to volunteer to help? They'd be like, yeah, we could definitely use you.
Yeah, and I think that's when Vale and Joel come back, when Seer is like, oh no, we could totally do that for you.
Do what?
Yeah, like you say that, and like Jewel like shoots a dirty look over to Vale, and then goes behind the counter and pours herself a shot, and just shoots some whiskey, and like walks outside.
Yeah. So you don't want to even hear what he just agreed to?
It's not my problem.
But I think I do immediately say, "You what?"
Seer has generously agreed to help us with the procurement of a few items left in the night market. I believe he volunteered all of you.
I think I look to Seer and I say, "Volunteered."
Yeah, I think Deirdre mentions, like, I'm sure this could go a long way. These goods can go a long way to help smooth this this volatile transition period.
And
meaning
and
that
Seer,
translation, the drugs that you take from us, that from here we can split.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Okay. Yeah.
and Seer, like maybe bitingly a bit towards Vale, is like, well, we trust the hive, right? Like, because last episode's here was kind of like, maybe we should just say fuck those guys if they're putting us at war. But this is like, this was your decision, Vale, so now we have to play friends, and friends help each other move for pizza and beer. So
they ask, like, when they are like, "Hey, do you have a pickup truck?" Not like,
yeah. See, and Jules' opinion is, yes, I have a pickup truck, but no, I won't help you move. But Jules maybe not the nicest person in this crew.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are nice people, to be honest. I'm on the fence about this because having drugs, like they're probably coming to Six Towers next. So if we get those drugs, we have to move them quickly, or we have to take them into Brightstone and get them out of here.
We don't know where they're going next, but maybe if somebody goes and talks to her spy contact, we'll know somebody who knows something.
That is a good idea. I think Vale is thinking, okay, if we do this, we have to act quickly. Give me the information.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Deirdre gives you... Yeah, she does mention that, like, we are on the clock here. This has to get done in the next, like, before nightfall, essentially. Like, they don't expect to be able to have a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, we have some idea of like tunnels. It's mostly in Six Towers, so we'd be using mostly that. We just have to get it like out of Night Market. Yeah,
it's like, well, I mean, the drugs are like warded and heavily like hidden, secured, and protected, but there's nothing. What can be said by the intelligence that the Imperial Guards have, how good and secure that is right now. There's a chance that we might be able to come back and get it later, but we would rather get it now. We'd rather strike while the iron's hot, than risk anything in the future.
Yep.
Okay, I think we make plans to at least make an attempt, even if we end up having to break away from that plan if everything goes to shit.
So are we gonna like do some split up things where like we're gonna try to do this plan at the same time? We're gonna see Valeris.
Are you gonna wait for Jewel to
I
get
would
back?
like to wait for Jewel to come back because I need Jewel to back me up, and I'm gonna like, okay, we're gonna do this, but we gotta wait for Jewel to come back because I need my right hand lady with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I think I think she pulls out some kind of like an hourglass or something, and she's like, "Well, we have to go. Like, she has until this runs out, and then we have to move, right?" So, and then like we zoom into the hourglass, and we zoom out to Jewel talking to Valeris or something, right? Like we have until this time, and so.
Yeah, so Seer and Vale get the planning, but like with we have to wait for Jewel before we actually go, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a quick clock, being like, time to go. Okay. So let's go meet Valeris. Do you know where to meet him?
Yeah, I think after like the last time we came to an arrangement that I had a place I could go to arrange a meet with him.
Okay.
And
can it be another him trying on a new suit?
You cut out there, so I have no idea.
Sorry. It's like, could we try maybe a scene where he's trying on a new suit again?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Only I think this time he's it's a little bit more cynical. I think he's trying on a suit that would be what he would wear at his funeral. And he's like, "What do you think? Like, do you think this is good to be buried in, or cremated in?"
Damn.
It's got a few too many metal bobs. That'll cause some problems in the incinerator.
Oh, I think you and I both know that the crematorians will steal these things, nick these things before it goes into the fire.
True enough. Listen. It's come to my attention that there's been a bit of a crackdown in the city. She says with the biggest understatement of all time.
He snorts. Yeah. Yes, it's thrown our futures in sort of a haywire, hasn't it?
More than a little bit. Now, what I need to know is, where is she going to target next when she's finish cleaning up the night market. She's going to move on across the city, and I need to know before she makes a move
Yeah.
where she's going to go.
Yeah, I think now that's worthy of a roll.
Okay.
I think it's risky.
Sure.
Because of this information.
And
I think it's standard.
Okay. Do I have anything that I might be able to bribe him with here to make this that I can fictionally somehow get better information from him? Let me just
this is definitely risky standard.
Let me just double check.
It's like Valerius is one of those dudes who knows a lot of stuff. And he does a lot with Skovland.
That's
probably
true.
knows her in the same circles.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's really going to help me here. Risky standard. Do I get my bonus die because he's my friend, and I'll then also push myself? I don't think I want a devil's bargain here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a crit.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you will take that crit. So yeah, I think we kind of have like that flashback of being like way back, and Valerius mentions that he actually served under her in the Skovland War as an intelligence agent. And I think he just mentions, he's like, I know, it's like, based on what she's doing right now, he tells you that her next moves will be the docks and securing the docks. She's going. The standard procedure is going to be like a vice, and basically locking down the in and out of the city, essentially.
Oh shit!
By locking down the rail station and the docks are like the two things. So odds are she's going to go there next.
Okay. That's good to know.
So.
If you have any further insight on where she's going to move after that, you know where to find me.
Yeah. I say, I think she says, yeah, I think Valerius be like, because you got a crit and stuff, I think he'd be like, hey, just watch yourself. She will play everyone against each other in her plans. And she said, and he's like, and I think this is like, he's being very honest when he says this. He says, I haven't been approached yet, right? But you may not even be able to trust me. Which is a lot coming from him, because you guys are like, go back super far back, right?
Yeah, like,
he's saying that like she has like he's Rhaenyra is very powerful. Like he's saying, he's not saying this. I'm telling you this. That Rhaenyra is very powerful, and in the ways of coercion and stuff like that, and can get under people's skin. You can't, like, even though we go super far, like, I know what she's capable of. You can't, like, might be one of the last few times that you know, like, I won't be compromised, right? Like, you will never know unless you really have to work at it.
Yeah, she had a.
So it's very bitter. It's very sad, like, in the way he's saying that.
Yeah,
like
she kind of huffs out some air and says, "I understand. I don't want to be your enemy."
Yeah. Caution, and he says, say hello to Vale, would you? Her name has been circling in the circles that I hang out in.
Is that a good thing or a bad
Yes,
thing?
very much so. No, like it's a very good thing that she's made a name for herself as someone who can get things done.
As
she's
long
a real
as that's
force.
the reputation that's circling,
Yeah,
and not something else. Thank you
Good
for
look out
making the
there.
time to see me.
Yeah.
And so she's
He like finishes adjusting like his bow tie in the mirror or something like that.
and like she like walks up.
His funeral cravat.
Yeah, she walks up behind him so that they like look at each other through the mirror and puts like one arm on his shoulder and says, "Yeah, I think this is the one. I could see you dead in this."
He looks like, very dignified expression.
Mm.
All right.
And then she heads back to the painted lady.
Cool. All right. Well, that's good because you fucking critted that. So I don't think I think you make it back in time then, right?
Yeah.
Like as like the few waning sand drops, tip through the hourglass, in walks Jewel.
Oh, you're still here.
You see that like they've all been like really pretty much like ready, packed up, ready to go.
Yeah, we're like geared up. We got like all your gear like on a table, like spread out, so you can pick it up easy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like looking at our watches and the hours.
Yeah, like she just sighs and like straps up, and she does that. There's that quick montage where she takes off her heavy coat and like she takes the holster or whatever and buckles it on, and then she puts the coat back on, and then you see her putting things into her pockets, but you can't tell what they are because the way the system works, that type of a montage real quick.
Yeah.
And she just nods to Vale like, I'm here to do a job, but you already know my feelings on this.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they want to know what you learned.
They don't know that she went anywhere.
Yeah, they don't know why I left or where I went, unless they do.
That's fair. Oh, never mind. No, I don't think they do that.
I think there may be a moment where, Jewel doesn't say anything about what she learned because she wants some time to tell it alone to Vale.
The Hive are our friends,
thing.
but not.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't say the Hive are our friends. The Hive are a business relationship.
Yeah, they're business partners.
You don't tell your business partner all your personal secrets.
That's a difference of perspective of Seer. Like, I don't know. It's like, no, they're supposed to be friends.
Missing that little bit of nuance.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, no. I don't know if you want to go over the plan and make the engagement roll, or if you do that after the break. But
it's probably break time, isn't it?
That's exactly. So then we'll come back and discuss and start the heist to rescue the drugs before the clamp of the Imperial agents takes them in the night market. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody. Yay!
Yay!